Hey everyone, Dark here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing some ARK Mobile, and I'm going to show you guys the most underrated tame in ARK Mobile. You guys need to start using this tame more, and some of you guys already use it. It is a well-known tame and a usable tame, but it is still very, very underrated. It is amazing how many people don't use this special ability that can allow you to pretty much raid any alpha tribe with this tame. Let's get into it. Now before we do though, if you find yourself enjoying this video, please hit that like button. It'll really help me out. Also subscribe if you haven't already and if you'd like to see more content like this. Lastly, if you'd like more ways to stay connected, look in the description down below. There are links to anything and everything. Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, all of the good stuff. And I stream weekly Tuesday nights 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now for reals, let's dive in. Now in case you haven't already noticed, the most underrated tame in ARK Mobile is indeed the Mammoth. Why is it the Mammoth? Well, it's got a very special ability, and it involves a little bit of water. I'm telling you guys, that move right there will allow you to raid any alpha base. Now, if you know why, you know, and we'll get into some details about this, how you can utilize that special ability. But if you don't know how that move is so important, and honestly, let's be real here for a sec. In the past, I'd say 4 to 6 months as of the time of publishing, Mammoths have become more and more part of the general ARK Mobile meta for raiding, but it's not because of this ability. They become part of the meta because of what's called Box Mammoths. So they have platform saddles, if you didn't already know, and you can box yourself in and box in the entire Mammoth to where nothing can hit you, and you can literally walk right up to like turret towers and bases and just blow right through. Obviously players don't like it, they look down on that. Some players still use it, of course. It's not currently against the rules. It used to be. It became not against the rules when they added the ability to put more structures on platforms and rafts. But that is all besides the point. That is just how Mammoths are most commonly used right now in ARK Mobile. But hopefully that all changes very soon, because check this out, guys. The thing that makes this water spraying ability so special for the Mammoth is because it'll literally affect any electronic when you spray the electronic with the water. So for example, the generators, the wires, the outlets, if you spray those, turns it off. If you spray the structures themselves, like an auto turret, it turns it off. You can literally, if you get close enough to a turret and you use the water spraying ability from the Mammoth, you can turn off the turret. Just like straight up turn it off. Guys, that is why this is such an amazing creature. And on top of that, if you're watching, I mean, you can equip helmets on the Mammoth. You can do both platform saddles and regular saddles. Leveling up, you can get a lot of HP on Mammoths. Mammoths can be really, really tanky. I've leveled up this creature a lot already, but I didn't put any into health. This was a Mammoth I had been using for farming, so I had melee. But you could beef up the health on Mammoths really high. Okay, guys, and you can carry them with Quetzal, so you can literally fly around an alpha's base with a HP Quetzal holding an HP Mammoth and spray water on the turrets and turn them off in the process, and then you just have someone fall behind, or you come back afterwards and you just blow them up to destroy them. And they won't shoot because they were turned off because of your water spraying ability. The water spraying doesn't even cost resources. The only resource it costs is if you happen to die in the process with the Mammoth and or Quetzal or your own person. I mean, it's insane. Now I will say, this is one thing just to note. One thing to note is when you pick up the Mammoth with the Quetzal, if you're using the platform saddle, sometimes it glitches and it drops. I would suggest trying to use a regular saddle first, and if you keep getting shot off, then try using a platform saddle, build a box just around your character, and then pick it up with a Quetzal, but you might have to find that sweet spot to where it doesn't naturally get dropped. But that being said, the Mammoth alone, I mean, that ability, it's so crazy how effective it is. And using it is super easy. All you do is you got to go in the water, practically submerged. You can't just be like in a little river. You practically got to be submerged. You swipe up on the left side of the screen. It soaks up all the water, and then when you're ready to use it, you swipe up on the left side again, and then it sprays out the water. And then when you run out, you go get more. Now this Mammoth had, it was like 76%. 76% was the quality of the capacity for this specific Mammoth, which is not high. The average is 100%. Essentially, the lower the number, the less water you can hold, meaning the more often you have to go refill. As you saw, this one specifically runs out pretty quick, because 76, like I said, is pretty low. But that number can get well above 100% also. So when you're going out to tame mammoths, look for ones with over 100% capacity. You can see it before you tame it. Okay? That quality, that trait, that statistic is also a breedable stat. So you can actually find a couple above 100 and breed them up and get all of the babies with that higher capacity as well. Now, I have not personally done a whole lot of breeding with mammoths because I haven't played a whole lot of PvP lately. However, I'm pretty sure breeding mammoths for their water capacity is similar to dodos with dodo size and horses with the power quality on the horses, the equus. But that being said, if I were to start breeding a mammoth line today, I would focus on two things. Number one is the water capacity. Absolutely, I'd focus on that. Also, the health. I'd definitely try to focus on health so you can get it more tanky. Now, if you were to try to come up with a plan to actually raid an alpha base, and if you're raiding a base with just a few turrets, absolutely. The mammoth, you'll have no problem knocking that out. I mean, it should be fairly easy. You just have to turn off a couple turrets. Sometimes you get lucky and the water will actually go through the walls or whatnot and turn off the entire generator or wiring setup. That's what I meant by the wires and the outlets. Like, if you've got a turret tower, the wire goes all the way up the tower, right? Sometimes that water will glitch through the vaults covering the wires or glitch through the walls, and it'll literally disconnect that wire, thereby disconnecting all of the outlets beyond it from the generator, which is way faster than individually turning off the turrets. That doesn't happen every time, but it definitely does happen sometimes. So you could easily knock out one, bundle of turrets with the mammoth. Now, for an alpha base, I would have a couple of people taking Quetzals, carrying mammoths, and then someone coming behind blowing up those turret towers after you turn them off. That's how I would approach it. I think that would be the most effective way to raid an alpha base, using mammoths and their special water spraying ability. Now, another thing that mammoths are really, really good for, and a lot of you already know this, is for farming wood and berries and even thatch. They are great farming dinos. You can carry them around on Quetzals, farm a ton of wood. You can use them for mushrooms in the swamp if you go farm all the mushroom trees in the swamp area, whatever kind of trees they're called. But yeah, they're fantastic farming dinos. So three things: you can raid with box mammoths, you can raid using the water spraying special ability, and you can farm a whole bunch of good stuff with the mammoths. So mammoths are one of the best, most underrated tames in ARK Mobile. They really are. They are incredible. Anyways, I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did find yourself liking it, please hit that like button to really help me out, and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Dark, and I will see you next time.